say a few words in honor of Northwest. Many of you heard we had a great time Saturday night at Rich and Lou's house at the Pirate Pig Roast, but I really think it went to Randy's head. I'd like to introduce the King Blender, Randy King, who will introduce our guest.
All right, we have no visiting Rotarians today, but a number of guests. And let's start with Ted Netting first.
First, it's my wife. She's been here before, but proof that she's a very patient and I had another word which I forgot.
Julie Johnson Hafner has our next guest.
Please welcome to Rotary, David Frazier.
Jerry Westbrook with a guest today. Jerry.
Yes, today I'd like to introduce to you my friend, Jay Earl.
Betty Coble with a returning guest.
My guest this morning, second time she's been here, is Diane Bevins.
And all the way from Aurora, Nebraska, to see her son win this coveted title, my mother, Reve, and her husband, Dale. All right, on this wonderful Tuesday, did my harem miss anyone?
Thank you, Marge. Randy, I don't know what I was thinking when I bought that crown in New Orleans. You need a reality check. John, your margaritas were really good too, so please give John a hand. Next, I'd like to invite Bob Eatman to come up to introduce some very special guests.
Right, the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards.
Next, I'd like to invite John Stewart to come up with some announcements on the Duck Race Committee.
Well, it's time for the duck race again. The duck race this year is on August 27th. That's why we do it. We give dictionaries to all the third graders that live within the confines of the Thompson School District. We also donate to the scholarship program, about $20,000 a year. Our goal this year is a hefty goal. We hope to gross 45,000, and we hope to net 36,000, and that's about a 1% increase over last year.
This is the last time you're going to hear me say anything about the first, last, and never annual Pirate Pig Roast. I thank Rich and Lou especially for letting us use their house and their property. It was such a perfect venue. And one more thing. I'm going to put this by the back door. It's our list of sponsors that help us out. And plus, take a really good look at the faces on these winches that somebody will recognize. Thanks a lot.
Next, I'd like to invite Marv Morganti to come up and make a very special presentation.
As we near the end of this Rotary year, it's time to recognize one of our members for distinguished service to our community, our Rotary Club, and Rotary International. So please stand and give a warm Rotary congratulations to our Rotarian of the Year, Ted Netting. Ted, we have a sculpture for you. These are made by George Lundeen, especially for this presentation. We give one of these every year. This is Rotarian of the Year, Ted Netting, 2010-2011. Congratulations. Kitty. You're going to have the anniversary.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Dwight to come up for a short... Were you prepared for this?
No, I just didn't think we had.
Thank you, Dwight. Next, I'd like to ask Kathy to come up and introduce our program today.
Well, as you can probably imagine, things are really hopping at the food bank for Larimer County. Unfortunately, there's people really, really suffering in our county. I see them and she sees them. My friend Kristen Berry is from Boston. She graduated from Evangel, is that how you say it, University in Missouri, and she actually started working with Amy Pisani, who's our food bank director here, when they were at the food bank in Missouri, and I met her at a party at Amy's a long time ago. She earned her BS in sociology, and she's been 8 years in food banking, 4 years as our program director for the food bank for Larimer County. She has 2 cute girls, 9 and 6 years old, and it's a real pleasure to work with Kristen, and I think you'll learn a lot.
Thank you so much. So yes, my mother and father park their cars and drink soda. I have had to lose my accent over the years too in order to do things like this. As Kathy said, my name is Kristen Berry, and it is an honor to be here. You guys are a blast. I had no idea what was going on Tuesdays here. But although it's been widely reported that the recession is ending, it is clear there are still many Larimer County residents that are still hurting and need help. The U.S. Census latest poverty report states that nearly 44 million Americans lived in poverty in 2009. This rate is the highest our nation has seen since 1994, and the largest number in 51 years for which poverty estimates have been published. Food Bank for Larimer County is a member of Feeding America, the nation's largest hunger relief organization. And the reason Amy Pisani couldn't be here today is that she is on their national council and is in Chicago in meetings. So she sends her best to all of you. The Food Bank works to meet the needs of Larimer County residents in 3 primary programs. We distribute almost 8 million pounds of food annually in these 3 areas. FoodLink provides donated food to local area nonprofit agencies like the House of Neighborly Services, Angel House, Meals on Wheels, Catholic Charities, the Boys and Girls Clubs, over 70 nonprofits in Larimer County. And basically, those nonprofits can access food through us to then provide to their clients, whether it be a Mosaic group home, where individuals are living and they can access food with us, or a Boys and Girls Club, where the club staff will come and pick up snacks for kiddos. Child nutrition programming is the second way we are reaching Larimer County residents. We provide a year-round meal program called Kids Cafe. Through the school year, we are at 7 locations providing a hot evening meal. And through the summer, we provide a hot lunch at 8 locations, 3 of which are Boys and Girls Clubs. And then here in Loveland specifically, we're at the Boys and Girls Club of Loveland, and then we are also opened at the Maple Terrace Apartments off of 23rd and 287. And that's a special location because it's a neighborhood. Just kiddos living in their homes, and they get to walk over to the clubhouse and have lunch if they need it. And we partner with some other groups that bring in enrichment programs for the kids. The program I want to talk to you about today is our primary program, and it's called Food Share. Food Share is the single largest fresh food pantry in Larimer County, with a location in North Fort Collins and one here in Loveland on 245 South Madison. Food Share provides free food to nearly 13,000 Larimer County residents per month. Doesn't that blow your mind? 13,000. And many of those folks are also accessing food through great organizations like House of Neighborly Services and the Seventh-day Adventist Pantry in Loveland, and many, many other organizations throughout Larimer County. I'm very excited to let you know that we recently broke ground on renovations for a new building here in Loveland for our Food Share program. It is at 2600 North Lincoln, the old Ferraro building, and we were able to purchase that and are starting renovations. In order to do that, we started a capital campaign to raise $2.23 million,
And I'm proud to say we've raised $2.22 million. So we're good to go on our building. We have $126,000 left to raise, and we are confident that we'll be able to do that. But more importantly, we just want to make sure that folks understand what we're doing in Loveland and why it's important. I want to end with a quote from a letter we received real recently from a family that's also on this poster board. My family is experiencing some employment and cash flow problems. With only a few dollars in our checking accounts and our food running low, I was more than a little apprehensive about how we were going to feed our 2 girls. My wife just returned from our first trip to the food bank. While not out of the woods financially, and determined that our situation is temporary, I nevertheless need to express my gratitude and thanks. Hooray! Tonight my family gets a balanced meal.
One of the things I'd like to do, though, is publicly acknowledge what Kristen has done for the Loveland Rotary Club. Becky Aldrich and I met with Kristen over 2 years ago and told her the dream the club had with Kids Pack. And she came up with all these resources and said, well, there's the McKenna Kids Pack program in Fort Collins. You need to introduce those people. So she invited them to the meeting. We all sat down. We partnered together and started ordering large quantities of milk, which was our most expensive need. And then she came up with beef stew, and then she came up with this. And then she said, well, if you have your members come up, they can glean for food. Maybe Kristen wants to explain what gleaning is, but without Kristen and Amy, we wouldn't have Kids Pack. Becky cut our cost to 1/3 of what we were spending. It's amazing. So let's give Kristen and the food bank a huge thank you for what they've done to help us with this. Kristen, on behalf of the Loveland Rotary Club, I'd like to give you a small token of our appreciation, and also the Rotary magazine. Thank you so much for being here today, and also for what you've done to help our Kids Pack program. We truly appreciate it.